morning, dear hearts. We are on lesson 333. Please subscribe. Before I get started on today's lesson, I'm going to read the fourth paragraph of our relevant thought, What is the Ego? And see how well this blends into today's lesson. But we do know that every lesson blends and weaves into the next, and the relevant thoughts just give us more knowledge and more expansion for the lessons. So here we go. To know reality is not to see the ego and its thoughts, its works, its acts, its laws and its beliefs, its dreams, its hopes, its plans for its salvation, and the cost belief in it entails. This is the section, What is the Ego? What is the cost of belief in the ego? Well, it's really death, because that's all the ego really wants to do, is to kill us, telling us that that's where we find salvation. The Course teaches us otherwise. The Course teaches us that our salvation is indeed our release from the ego, because then we have our freedom and salvation and atonement and forgiveness are all synonymous here. So the cost of the belief in the ego is that of fear and pain and suffering and worry and doubt, and none of the attributes of our Father, none of the characteristics of our Creator. The second paragraph says, in suffering, the price for faith in it, in the ego, is so immense that crucifixion of the Son of God is offered daily at its darkened shrine, the shrine of the ego, the sacrificial altar of the ego. And blood must flow before the altar where its sickly followers prepare to die. That's the only way out. That's the only way out from the ego mind and what the ego shows us and teaches us and offers us, that you are here only to die. And that is not what this Course is about. That is not what we're being taught. We are limitless. We are eternal. We are timeless. We are the children of God. And death is not our end. Death is not how we come to know who we are. It's in our remembering of our truth and accepting of the truth that we finally learn indeed that the ego is idolatry, the ego is insanity, and it is time to simply turn away from it. Give it no attention, and the ego falls apart, because without our constant allegiance to the ego simply self-destructs. It must be fed on our allegiance, on our belief in it. So without that, the ego simply falls away. It ceases to be when we cease to believe in it and give it attention. So today's lesson is forgiveness ends the dream of conflict here. The ego is the dream of conflict here. But I just want to go back to our two previous lessons and see our lovely progression. There is no conflict, for my will is yours, Father. My will is one with yours, and there is no will but God's. The next lesson, yesterday's lesson, was fear diminishes or ends or binds the world. Fear diminishes, binds the world. Forgiveness sets it free, expands the world. Today, forgiveness ends the dream of conflict here. Conflict must be resolved. And as I have said many times, those of you who have been hanging out with me for a while know that I love that word, resolve. Break it down, resolve, because the problem has already been solved. The problem was solved because the answer was given the moment that we thought there was a problem. So conflict must be resolved. We must come to the awareness that it has been settled. It cannot be evaded, set aside, denied, disguised, seen somewhere else, called by another name, or hidden by deceit of any kind, if it would be escaped. So this litany blends, I think, so well with the litany we just had about to know reality is not to see the ego, because what are we talking about with the ego? Its thoughts, its works, its laws, its beliefs, its dreams. So in order to be free of conflict, we need to be free of all of those characteristics, all of the things that the ego offers. But they cannot be simply evaded or set aside or denied or disguised or seen somewhere else, called by another name or hidden by a deceit if they are going to be escaped. They must be seen exactly as it is. It must be seen exactly as it is, where it is thought to be the reality which has been given it, and with the purpose that the mind accorded it. These ideas, all of this conflict that we think has been built up because we have believed in the ego, it must be revealed. It must be brought to the light. It must be uncovered, because that is how all conflict is ended. We will never look to solve something or to see truly something if it's still covered up. We must first become aware of the problem in order for the problem to be resolved. For only then are its defenses lifted and the truth can shine upon it as it disappears. When the problem, the conflict, is uncovered, the light shines upon it. You are the light. We are the light of the world. And in that light, forgiveness will shine away all of the conflict. Forgiveness is that beautiful light, that radiant light that comes from our Father for our benefit, to learn we no longer need to believe in the ego and to stay where we are not happy. Forgiveness ends all the dreams of conflict. And they are simply dreams. The ego is simply a dream. The ego is an illusion. But when forgiveness is placed upon every illusion, it shines away all that seemed to be there but had no foundation and had no reality in truth. So it is gone. The second part of today's lesson is the prayer, and it says, Father, forgiveness is the light you chose to shine away all conflict and all doubt and light the way for our return to you. The way is lit. We merely follow where the light takes us. No light but this can end our evil dream. I don't like the word evil, but our unfortunate dream, our ego dream. Our small-minded, fearful dream. No light but this can end the fearful dream that we have been dreaming. No light but this can save the world, for this alone will never fail in anything, being your gift to your beloved sons. The light was given us. The light was given us to shine away every problem, every believed in, every made up issue that we have ever had, that we want to release from the ego's thoughts and its works and its acts and its laws and its beliefs, its dreams, its nightmares really, its hopes, its plans for salvation, and the cost that belief in it entails. The light that has been given us will end all of those, because in the light, they simply disappear. That's it for today. I hope it helped. I hope it made sense. So please like, please share, please subscribe, please smile, please breathe. Several of you are reading others' comments and then commenting and sharing your own wisdom with them. And I am so appreciative and very grateful that you do that. So I wanted you to know. And pray. Pray for the recognition of what is real and what is not. Namaste.